name is Sagar. I'm 25 years old and I'm from Milton Keynes. I understand my life to be what is essentially two lives. One is that, first off, I'm British. I'm born here. You know, I have this accent. I have this vocabulary. And then my second life is that I'm Indian. You know, I have these cultures, these traditions. So it's like, well, how do you navigate those two lives? How do you live both of them at the same time? The theory that I have in my mind is that I've been different religions before. So I may be Hindu in this life, and I'll be agnostic or atheist in the other, or I'll be Muslim in the next one, or I was this before. So this is just who I am in this particular life, and I've been others in previous, and I will be someone else in the next one. And essentially, religion is behavior, isn't it? You have to behave in these certain ways, whereas spiritual is more individual. Religion is like, we are this group, these are our values, we will act in these ways, whereas spiritual is like, I understand God or spirit in this way. This is my own personal understanding. I went to an interfaith meeting just to observe and do some research. So someone asked me, which religion are you from? I said, my religion is photography. Because it's my life, right? If you are a Christian, you go to church on Sundays, you know, you pray every time before you eat. That is your lifestyle. You live those values. So I live the value of photography. I don't know if it could be called a religion, but my main interest was, in the beginning, I would see these powerful images and I'm like, how do I do that? I couldn't afford a camera, so I just started with a phone. But it's a bit creepy to take pictures of people with your phone. So I had to save up, and I started with the 90mm lens, which is really quite telescopic, and I took pictures of people from afar. And looking back now, it was about, how do I get close to someone? How do I close that gap? And street photography was like, it was admiration from a distance. I see someone doing something nice or looking pretty or attractive or whatever, and I want to show them in a certain way. Okay, this person is dignified, they're doing this, and so on. And then after uni, I was searching for some greater purpose, and I thought, right, it's here at Milton Keynes at my temple. I know these people, no one is documenting this, let's close the gap. And then that corresponded with my work, and my purpose is long form. It's not about, oh, film is a nice aesthetic. It's about film lasts longer. So I'm shooting for the next 100 years. That's my aim. After I'm gone, I'll have a body of work, and whether it's in an archive or in a museum, or someone's nephew has it, as long as it keeps going, that's my aim now with photography. Covering the BLM protest, it was an awakening. It was the bubbling up of the surface. My colleagues and I, we were with the BLM group in Trafalgar Square, and there were the far righters, the white nationalists in Parliament Square. We understood, okay, if you're a photographer, you're in danger if you go to Parliament Square. And we heard that Alex was in Parliament Square and he'd been attacked, and we're like, okay, this is serious now. But yeah, after that moment, my friend Zach, he called me and was like, okay, they're coming down, get ready. I'd never been in that kind of what was essentially a riot situation, and you just freeze. Your mind goes into a different place. It's like, it wasn't about, okay, this is happening with the camera. It's like, wow, this is scary. And that's when I understood fight or flight. It's you make a choice. And my more experienced colleague and friend Simon, he took me under his wing, and he's like, okay, these are the moves we're going to make. We need to get to safety. This is a bit beyond our control now. And we found ourselves in the middle of a street, and we were still fleeing from the far righters. And they cut off the other end of the street. So we were like, where do we go? We're trapped now between a clash. And we found this corner, and bottles were flying everywhere. And Simon gave me a countdown. He said, okay, when I say go, then we go. And I don't know how we made it out of there without being caught. But yeah, that was real shock exposure. I think by nature of the situation, I could only focus on the BLM side, just purely out of access. I knew that I'd be in danger if I went to Parliament Square. I suppose the story was more of defiance. There was a threat saying that if BLM comes down on this day, then there'll be violence. And BLM, they stayed on their side and said, look, we are not scared. We're not going to hide away. We're still here. We're not going. We're not going away out of fear of anything. And I suppose that was the story for me. It was about bravery and defiance and saying, look, we're not going to hide. We're still here. I always think about okay, what am I not seeing, or what am I censoring myself from? I always think about how do I photograph someone I hate, right? How do you do that in a way without doing that person disservice? There's very few people that I would say, okay, I'm not going to photograph them. I think almost everybody is really interesting. Yeah, you dig down deep enough, you'll find something. But I can't control their actions. I can't control the environment. They're just doing their own thing. It's just pure observation in that respect. When you're a photographer, it's more kind of neutral. It's like, right, you go on both sides. It's hard to take a side. And people should say, right, you need to take a stand. So my friend Simon, he says, shoot everything and then consider what you're going to publish. I think most people overlook what is directly in front of them, right in front of their doorstep. So for me, it was always going to London on the weekend and taking dreamy pictures of nice looking people, whereas it was more the case of, well, hang on, you don't need to travel, you don't need to spend any money, everything is right here. The more meaningful stuff is right here. During lockdown, my mother would suggest, okay, let's all get together and we'll do some prayers or devotional songs. And I thought, okay, there's not a lot going on photographically. I can only work here at home, inside. And I was like, wow, it really took me 6 years to fully understand. I might not even need more than this. Like, this is probably one of the best moments, but I only have the eyes now to see it, whereas before it was I need to go far away, I need to spend a lot of money. And I understood at that point is I can make some strong work here, and because I understand the value. Okay, this is my family, I need to make this last longer. I can only be remembered by what is left behind of me, right? I can't leave another living embodiment. I want my work to show, okay, he went everywhere, he's enthusiastic about everything. Even when you can't go everywhere, things are right in front of you. I think it's about enthusiasm, it's about creativity, I guess a sense of optimism despite how things might be. There's one saying, it's called amor fati, it's about loving your fate despite how dire your situation might be. Whatever your struggles are, you make the best of what is in front of you. In fact, you don't even make the best of it, you go further than that and you completely embrace it. Whatever the discomforts might be, you completely fall in love with that. That's how I want to be remembered.